It has been nearly 3 months since the death of American financier and alleged sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. His death ruled a suicide here in New York back in August.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Our next guest was tapped by Epstein's team to observe the autopsy and is here to reveal the findings from his investigation.
Pathologist Dr. Michael Baden, who has worked on almost every single politically important autopsy from JFK and MLK to OJ's wife, has released a report confirming everyone's suspicions that Jeffrey Epstein might not have killed himself.
At the autopsy on day one, there were findings that were unusual for suicidal hanging and more consistent with ligature homicidal strangulation.
So we knew this already, but it's nice to hear an expert who has seen the body say it as well.
Are you saying you don't think it was suicide?
I think that the evidence points toward homicide rather than suicide.
Why?
Because there are multiple 3 fractures in the hyoid bone, the thyroid cartilage, that are very unusual for suicide and more indicative of strangulation, homicidal strangulation.
Now, I'm not an expert pathologist, but from what I've read on this matter since I got a bad case of the Epstein brain, was that this kind of tear is enough evidence to warrant further investigation before conclusively ruling the death a suicide. And given the circumstances, it seems insane to just discount the contrary evidence, which is what the official examiner did. A telltale sign that a conspiracy theory is probably bunk is when you're skeptical of the common narrative, but you have to create completely fabricated, outrageous narratives in order to tie everything together. For example, flat earthers believe that the global scientific community, led by NASA, is harboring the secret to prevent us from seeing the truth that the world is flat, and also that the flat world is surrounded by an ice wall at its edges protected by military bases. Why? Because of the Illuminati. It just makes no sense. Whereas in the case of Jeffrey Epstein, a billionaire child sex trafficker who had ties to the global elite, the official narrative makes less sense than the conspiratorial one. Epstein avoided a serious sentence once, yet many powerful people you would think had a lot to lose by being associated with Epstein, including world leaders like Ehud Barak, never cut ties with him. Epstein had tapes in his apartment with names on it. Blackmail tapes. He was put on suicide watch after he made an initial suspected attempt on his own life. But for the official theory to work, so many crazy coincidences would have to line up perfectly. Consider that Epstein, the most high-value prisoner, was placed on, but then quickly taken off of suicide watch. Then the guards on the night of Epstein's supposed suicide watch didn't even work at the prison, and the cameras weren't functioning either. Plus, Epstein was not showing warning signs of a person contemplating suicide as he was in contact with his lawyers regularly and was reportedly in a good mood. Or maybe, after a lifetime spent as the only first-hand witness to 1,000 different sex crimes committed by the international oligarch class, right as he could actually prove useful for justice, the guilt finally got to him and overwhelmed him with sadness, and he killed himself. You decide. I'm Hasan Piker, and this has been The Breakdown. Never miss another breakdown video by ringing the bell below. You'll get notified whenever we publish something new. Also, don't forget to join TYT today. Download our TYT Plus app on your phone or head on over to tyt.com/join.